What's going on, everybody? It's Colby Massey here with another lesson, another song to teach you. And today's song is actually a request from an old friend of mine, and it's Everlong by the Foo Fighters. Now, this is a song that I learned a long time ago, and I haven't played it, in years. So I kind of had to refresh my memory, so forgive me if I make a couple mistakes. But I think I got it figured out again. And it's kind of a tricky song. I mean, it's fairly easy, but it might have some unfamiliar things, especially if you're a beginner. So what I'm going to do is break it down into 3 sections, which are going to be how to play your verses, how to play the pre-chorus, and how to play the chorus, okay? And the first thing you need to know is that your guitar is tuned to a drop D tuning. So what that is where your E string here, your 6th string, is loosened. It's tuned down to a D note, okay? And you can do this with a guitar tuner, but if you don't have a guitar tuner, the best way to do it by ear is to match it with your 4th string, which is a D note, okay? And you're going to start off in an E, and you're going to loosen your guitar down, or loosen the E string down until it matches your 4th string, okay? Like that, okay? So that's how you do that by ear, but you should have a digital guitar tuner, or at least have one on your phone. And that's how you get started. Now, the chords we're going to use are a bit different, and I really don't know what chords these are, but I know how to make the chord shapes, because now that we're in a drop D tuning, they all have a D bass to them, or a different bass note, so I'm not sure exactly what chord it is. But all it is you're making these power chord shapes that we have learned in the past. So you're going to start here on the 9th and 11th fret with your 1st string on the 5th, your 1st finger on the 5th string, 9th fret, and then your ring finger on the 4th string, 11th fret, okay? And then you're going to let that E string, which is now a D note, but I'm still going to refer to it as an E string or your 6th string. And so you're going to hit this with that 6th string ringing out. And if you've heard the song, you kind of get an idea for how the rhythm and the strumming's supposed to sound, but it's kind of something similar to this. And there's a lot of palm muting going on, because it doesn't ring out. You kind of have to palm mute it and stop it every time. Okay? And you use the meat of your hand right here to mute the strings. Alright, now you're going to do that for a little while, and then you're going to take this 1st string here and move it up to the 6th string, 9th fret. And you're going to use it to kind of bar the 6th and 5th string. Okay? Everything else is muted still. Alright? So all you're playing are your top 3 strings majority of the time. Alright, so from the top so far, this is what you got. And then from here, you're going to take this exact shape and slide it up to the 5th fret and the 7th fret. That's all you're going to do. And slide it back down to the 9th. So, real slow like this. Oops, sorry. And when you slide back to the 9th, you're going to hang on that for a little bit. And start back over with the D, the open 6th string ringing out. Alright, and that's what your verses are going to sound like. Now there's a pre-chorus where you play this little section that goes into the chorus. This will be the second section that I was telling you about, which is, I guess, considered the pre-chorus. And all you do is take this shape that you've made at the beginning with your first finger on the 5th string and your ring finger on the 4th string, and then you slide it up to the 4th and 6th fret. Ooh, I went too far. 4th and 6th fret right there, okay? And now you're using the tip of your first finger to kind of mute that 6th string, and you're going to go. All right? And what you're doing is going 4, 5, 7, 9, and then you slide from the 9 to the 10 and back. Like that, okay? So real slow. Even slower. 4, 5, 7, 9. Slide back and forth. And when you do that, you're going to go to the 7th fret right here. And you're just barring the top 2 strings. And this is where he's singing, I wonder. And you're going to do that, I think, 2 or 3 times. Alright, now the chorus kicks in, and when you do the little slide in and out from the 9 and 10, you're going to do the same thing you did here at the 7, but do it here at the 9. And this is where your chorus starts, okay? And then you go 9 to 5. Alright, so you're going to basically just bar the top 2 strings to make that kind of power chord shape I was telling you about at the beginning, where everything else is kind of muted except the top 2 strings, okay? And then you go 9 to 5. And then open, you don't use your hands at all, no chord, but you pick the top 2 strings, which is kind of like a D power chord. This is where he's singing, if everything could ever feel this good forever, if everything could ever feel this good again, the only thing I ever ask of you, you gotta promise not to stop. When you get to gotta promise not to stop, you make a 7th fret bar chord like earlier. Stop when I say when to 5. She said, then you go start over again with the verses. Okay? And that's how you play it. That's basically all you're doing throughout the whole song. And I hope this helps. I hope it's easy enough to kind of get a hold of and get a hang of. But the beauty of this being on a video is you can rewind it and watch it as many times as you need to. So I recommend you do that until you get the hang of it and understand kind of what I'm trying to show you here. And then when you figure out what's going on, I recommend you go look up the acoustic cover of this song and try to follow along with it, because the actual radio recording that you hear on the radio a lot has a whole lot more stuff going on and it's harder to follow. But if you listen to the acoustic version of this song, it sounds very similar to this. And you can also play it this way on an electric guitar, because they're both played the same way. It's just the acoustic version just has one acoustic guitar, whereas the radio version has, multiple guitars and all those other instruments. So once you get the hang of this video, I recommend you go look up the acoustic cover or a acoustic cover of this song and try to follow along with it. And then also while you're at it, go watch some of my other videos that I've made in the past, because I have a lot of other lessons that I've done that you might be interested in watching. And also subscribe, because I'll continue to make videos in the future that you don't want to miss. So like my videos, share my videos, subscribe like I said, and if there's any comments you have for me, any critiques or requests or any kind of feedback whatsoever, let me know. I want to hear from y'all, and that's how I get better as a teacher. and that's how I know what you want to hear. So if you would do that for me, I would really appreciate it. But in the meantime, y'all keep playing, and y'all take it easy. I'll see y'all on the way.